Hey guys, it's Friday, April 17th. Welcome to ELA 7 Virtual Edition. We're wrapping up week 4 today, so let's get started on our preview. First of all, this is vocab list 22 week, so we need to review our vocab list not only for this week, but also for the previous 3 weeks. We've got our Scope Magazine paragraph response that we're going to talk about in a few minutes. And then we've got Reading Plus to finish up, and hopefully you've been reading something pretty awesome that you've been having a hard time putting down. If you're looking for something, if you go on YouTube to my channel, and you can actually even find some links in Canvas to the benefits of being an octopus. I'm reading that pretty much every day. There's actually a guest reader from last week, so if you want to check into that, it's a pretty good book. Written by Anne Braden, and she was nice enough to give me permission to publish those readings on YouTube. So let's go here. Yesterday we talked about the fact that our vocab test is coming up in about 3 weeks over all of our lists. We've been through 4 now, so please use your time wisely. Do some review. Again, the links to Quizlet and Blookit are up in Canvas, and you can log in there and play some games and really increase your knowledge of those words. How many of them would we have so far? 12 times 4 is 48, so there's 48 words already that you should be pretty familiar with. So again, play some games, rock some knowledge. All right, so the day we sent a message to aliens, we're writing a paragraph response. Yesterday, like we talked about, you did all of the heavy lifting, right? On Thursday, you went and you determined what is my answer to the question, right? Why was the Voyager space mission significant? So you should have come up with an answer to that and put it all together with the restatement that Scope had already provided for you. And there you've got your claim or your topic sentence. Then you were supposed to find 2 pieces of text evidence that support what you were saying in that topic sentence. And then you should have done a little connecting of the dots there. They left you space for commentary, or what we call explanation. And so you should have used that space to kind of write a preview or write a rough draft, so to speak, of what you're going to say to connect your text evidence to your topic sentence. Finally, in step 3, you were supposed to write a summary sentence that wrapped everything up, reinforces your main idea, so that your reader walks away going, I really understand what they were getting at there, and it was all wrapped up so nicely and neatly. Because readers like that. They like to feel like you kind of cocooned them in knowledge, all right? So let's see, what else do I need to tell you about that? So you're going to use the paragraph planning guide that you completed in yesterday's module in order to write your paragraph response. You should type this paragraph response in MLA format in a Google Doc. Your writing handbook, many of you took that home with you before you left for spring break. So your writing handbook will be really handy for making sure that you've got your MLA style right. And then if you did not take yours home with you, there is a link to a copy of it. There's a digital copy in today's module. So you'll be able to download that, look through it, and use that to help you set things up. And then when you're finished with it, you've done all your proofreading, you've revised, you've edited, then you can turn that in through Canvas, please. Please do not share that with me. Please submit it through Canvas. When you share things with me, when you email things to me, they get lost, okay? So as much as you can, please try to turn things in through Canvas. All right, so to start with, MLA format, make sure that you follow the instructions on the first page of your MLA style guide. It takes you through step by step. If you read it, like if you read the words that are on the page, it takes you through step by step. All you have to do is do exactly what it says, all right? Step by step with your MLA format there. Then the next thing we need to be aware of and focused on, like this is the hardest part of today, okay? Right here, this is the hardest part. Transitions. We've talked about transitions all year. Today we're talking specifically about signal phrase transitions. So signal phrases are the ones that signal to your reader that we're moving from your words to a source's words. So use signal phrase transitions to guide the reader from your word to a source's word, and each direct quote that you use. So if you chose 2 direct quotes, you should be using 2 signal phrase transitions in your paragraph. You need to make sure that you are giving credit to your author, and it's always a good idea to use a signal phrase so that it's not just choppy. You're not just throwing quotes on your reader and them going, where'd that come from? Give them some warning. All right? Let them adjust to the idea that we're changing authors now. Okay? So make sure that you use a transition, a signal phrase transition before every direct quote. There is actually in the module another PDF that's about transitions, and it has all of the ones that you wrote down on the back of your transitions flip book. Those are the signal phrase ones. So if you don't have your writing handbook with you, or you do have your writing handbook, but for some reason your transitions flip book isn't in there, there's a list of that available in your module for today. So you can look at that. It's called transitions.pdf. So it should be easy to find. There's an example there. If you want to look at what that looks like, you can either go into your MLA style guide, or the lesson notes for today have examples of what that should look like, what a signal phrase transition into a quote should look like. You don't have to have a signal phrase transition for a paraphrase, but if you'd like to, that's another good way to let your reader know ahead of time that, hey, this isn't my idea. I got it somewhere else, but I thought it was really fitting for this situation. All right. Let's see. What else do we need to talk about? Ooh, citations. Whether we are directly quoting or paraphrasing, we need citations. We need citations either way. So if you named the author in a signal phrase, you do not have to put their name in the parenthetical citation as well. So you only need it in one of the 2 places. You don't have to have it in both. It's not wrong to have it in both. It's just repetitive or even redundant. Remember that when we use page numbers, we do not include the word page, nor do we include a abbreviation of it. We just put the number. Okay, so there should be nothing in your parenthetical citation except the page number. Not the word page, not the word number, just 26 or 27, or maybe even 26-27, depending on what kind of things you quoted or paraphrased. Okay, so again, there are examples of that in your MLA style guide. So check your writing handbook or the module for today, or there are a couple of examples, not very diverse examples, but a couple of examples in the lesson notes for today as well. So you can check there if for some reason you can't check either of the other places. So make sure that both of your pieces of text evidence are cited. One of the other things that I've been noticing recently as I've read some of our writing is that we are still not offering enough detail. We're not giving our readers enough background information and details for them to be able to make sense of what we're writing. So you should always go into writing with the assumption that your audience has no idea what you're talking about. They did not read what you read. Okay? So like, just even though I've read what you've read, you have to go into the situation assuming that they haven't. Okay? Because if you don't, you will skip over details and information that will make it very hard for your reader to understand what you're getting at, especially if by chance they didn't read what you read. Okay? So make sure that as you read it, you're like, if I hadn't read the article, would I understand what's going on here? Now, that assumes, though, that you reread it. Okay? So I don't have the ability right now to say, oh, we're having peer editing day, and, try to get you to take it seriously. I don't have that ability at all right now. So I am trusting you and the fact that this is a test grade to get you to revise and edit before you submit your paragraph, okay? So the revise part is where you look at it and go, if my audience doesn't know anything about what I'm talking about, are they going to understand this? That's the revise part. Okay, so determine, do I need to replace something? Do I need to add something? Do I need to delete something because it's confusing? Do I need to rearrange something to make it less confusing? Okay, so go through that. The radar chart is in your writing handbook as well. And I think there's one in the module. If there's not, I'll put one there. And then make sure you go through and edit as well. Did you spell your words correctly? Did you write fragments and run-ons? If you did, fix it. Did you put punctuation in the correct places? Did you punctuate your citations correctly? Use your style guide. Make sure that you do that correctly. Okay? What, did I get all the big ones? Ooh, capitalization. You should probably check your capitalization. Make sure all of your sentences start with a capital letter. Make sure that you capitalize Voyager because it's a proper noun. You know, things like that. So, I think that about covers it. Make sure that we revise and edit, and make sure that we've got it all polished up and looking pretty, because again, it is a test grade and it will be the only one that's there for a little while. So it will be like kind of the anchor for your grade. So make sure that you're doing it well, okay? All right, to recap, let's review our vocab so that we are prepared for our upcoming test grade. Let's get our alien paragraph done and turned in. The assignment is titled Alien Para, so make sure that you type that up in MLA format, write it well, put your transitions in there, put your background information and detail that your reader needs in order to make sense of it, and then revise and edit. Finally, we have Reading Plus that's due by Sunday at midnight, so please don't put yourself in a position where on Sunday night at 10 o'clock you're frantically trying to get me to get you off hold, because I promise you I am not checking my email at 10 o'clock on Sunday night. Okay, so plan ahead. You know you have to get it done, so let's get it done. All right, and then finally, you've got some extra time, read a little bit. Have a great weekend, guys, and I'll see you again on Monday.